Okay, good afternoon. It's Moshe Landman, candidate for U.S. Congress in Maryland, coming to you straight from Clarksburg, Maryland. As you know, the 6th District goes from Germantown all the way to the end at the west, about 800,000 voters. Today we're talking about an interesting topic. Let me set everything up here. The topic is the Paris peace deal and Maryland's future. So I don't know if you've read, but what we have here is a special, just one moment, Um, a special live stream. Whether you're tuning in from Montgomery County, Frederick, or out in Western Maryland, I'm glad you're here. We just got some massive news out of Paris that is going to reshape global politics and, believe it or not, directly impact how we spend our tax dollars right here in Maryland. The UK and France have just signed a declaration to send troops into Ukraine if a peace deal is reached with Russia. Is this the end of the war or just the beginning of a new kind of entanglement? Today, I want to break down what this article means and why. As your candidate for Congress, I believe we need a Maryland-first approach to foreign policy. The breakdown, what's happening in Paris? So here's the gist of the article. The plan, the UK and France want to establish military hubs across Ukraine to deter Russia after a ceasefire. The U.S. role, while European troops go in. The U.S. is being asked to lead the monitoring of the truce. The risk. Moscow has already called these troops legitimate targets. Wonderful. Now President Zelensky says a peace deal is 90% ready. That's the good news. We all want the killing to stop. But as someone running to represent you in Washington, I have to ask, what is the cost of that last 10%? The article mentions that durable security guarantees are essential. In Washington speak, that usually means more of your money being sent overseas indefinitely. And we all know that Putin and his team there, Lavrov, and they're all what I would say, stubborn group of post-communist, belligerent, authoritarian folks. They're not good people. The whole country is supporting what they're doing in Ukraine, even though it's a violation of international law. It's a criminal endeavor, and they are killing people indiscriminately. For what purpose? They're not going to take over Ukraine just because they don't like Zelensky. They called him a neo-Nazi. He's not a neo-Nazi. He's a Jew, which is funny if you think about it. And the whole thing's a mess. Trump had proposed giving them what they've conquered so far, the eastern part, the Donbass, the regions on the east of Ukraine and Crimea. But they continue to the war, and they continue to send missiles directly at the Ukrainians, which is just a terrible thing, killing people using drones from maybe in Iran. Ultimately, Putin has to go, his whole team has to go, and Russia needs a total transformation of their culture, economy, and everything else, even though they have good potential. They're smart people, engineers. You can see what they've built militarily and technologically, but their culture, the way they behave is not ready for international law. At the same time, I don't really believe we need a NATO against them. Ultimately, we have to bring them into the international community as well as China and figure out a way to end the war. Now, the Landman perspective, peace and the budget. As a Green Party candidate, my platform is built on nonviolence and fiscal sanity. Look at the numbers. We are talking about billions for reconstruction and monitoring. Meanwhile, right here in Maryland's 6th District, our infrastructure needs work. Our small businesses are struggling with inflation. Chesapeake Bay needs real aggressive federal funding for restoration. I have proposed cutting the military budget by $500 billion annually. Trump wants to put it up by 1.5. I want to take it down. Why? Because we can provide a backstop for peace through diplomacy and economic support without being the world's primary financier of conflict. We need to transition from a war economy to a green economy. I see a comment from Sarah in Gaithersburg asking, does this mean U.S. troops are going back in? Great question, Sarah. The article suggests the U.S. would take the lead in monitoring, but we know how mission creep works. Once we are the monitors, any spark could pull us back in. I believe we should support Ukraine's sovereignty, but our primary focus must be on de-escalation. We cannot afford another forever war, neither in Venezuela nor in Ukraine. Commitment. When we have record national debt, $38 trillion, and urgent needs at home, healthcare is a mess, poverty, the wealth gap, so much more. We need to run surpluses every year. I don't know if we've forgotten what a surplus is. Not more deficits for foreign military hubs. If you agree that it's time for a foreign policy